Let's welcome David on screen. Hi, David. Join us. Good morning.
Hi, everyone. A very good morning. I hope you can all hear me loud and clear.
Yes, I can hear you. How are you doing, David?
Good, good. It's been a rushing morning because the office is quite far away from home. So
I'm glad you made it in time. You could join us.
yeah,
We're counting on you today because you're our first speaker and you're going to be setting the mood for the entire next 1.5 days. So
definitely.
Okay, so you have 45 minutes in total. The first 30 minutes for your presentation, and the last 15 will reserve for your Q&A. So, do you have any questions?
No, I don't have any.
All right, so go ahead and set up your screen. I'll be here to accompany you for a little while longer.
Yep, sure. Let me just bring up my slides so that everybody could view this.
Okay, cool. So for those of you guys who just joined us, welcome once again to the SMA Digital Fest 3.0. If you have any questions, leave them in the Q&A box. It's right beneath your screen. And yeah, ask as many questions as possible because it is basically free consultation and we're more than happy to answer any questions you may have.
Okay, right. Can everybody view? Oh, let me just bring that up. Sorry.
All right, perfect.
Get to the start of it.
Yes.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready, take it away.
Yep, sure. Right. So again, a very good morning, everyone, and I hope everyone is doing well during this period of RMCO, right? The Recurring Movement Control Order. And firstly, thank you for tuning in today, and also thank you for Exabytes for the platform for me to do some knowledge sharing basically on digitalization in businesses in this unprecedented times. So I'll start off by introducing myself. I'm David from HealthMetrics again, and we are a software as a service platform helping organizations manage their employee benefits, healthcare benefits specifically, digitally. So today I'll be discussing about opportunities in employee healthcare benefits management in this digital transformation era. So employee healthcare benefits are touted as one of the most important criteria, when it comes to choosing a job these days, right? Better health, dental, and vision benefits actually top the list in terms of employee benefits preference in a Harvard Review study, and 88% of respondents actually, pick these benefits to be one of their top benefits, right? In addition, of course, studies have also found that employee healthcare benefits does improve overall well-being at the workplace, and this indirectly contributes to better quality labor. Now, I don't know about you, but if I was a business owner, this is something I definitely want for my organization, right? However, when it comes to providing and managing these benefits, right, it has been a bane and a pain for many organizations. Now, from the issues of cost to employee tracking, to the fear of abuse, to keeping records and data, as well as the whole employee experience itself, right? The struggle is real, right? If there's any HR around here or any personnel that manages employee benefits across organizations, I'm pretty sure you have come across these struggles and even share similar sentiments. Some of these processes are really manual, from medical cheats to manual claims and reimbursements to physical MCs, manual tracking of panel clinics, the list goes on, right? But what's more important, however, is in the midst of manually managing all these processes and issues, right, is the invaluable information or data that is not visible or actually hidden, right, and not connected through the traditional methods of storing information in data silos. Your local data storage, your manual tracking of claims and reimbursements through, files or papers, all these segregated reports. Now, the connected data can actually provide interesting insights to guide organizations in making more informed decisions when it comes to employee benefits provision, right? Without a digital platform that connects all of this or a system in place, these data are bound to be lost in translation. An example would be traditional methods where employee outpatient treatment data, right? For example, when you go to the clinic or whatsoever, now these are only stored in healthcare provider databases, and they are not able to inform businesses like yourself whether prevalent illnesses, for example, influenza cases are spreading across your workplace. Another example would be manual storage of information in physical media, physical claims, physical MCs. Now, all of this can be easily lost or manipulated. So, and that, of course, leads to uninformed decisions on employee healthcare benefits provision, right? Leading to ineffective policies and budgeting in your organization. in line with the nation's healthcare developments. So, of course, when it comes to digitalization, the most dangerous phrase in business is that, we've always done it this way, right? If it's not broken, why fix it? Now, if you look at the screen, it's got a funny comic which reflects this statement particularly, where this guy is holding a round wheel, proposing his bright idea to his compatriots, who were too busy, operating as usual with a square wheel. Now, who would have thought that would have been a great idea, right? And I believe that any business that isn't embracing digitalization by now likely won't be a business for long, right? Take, for example, companies like Nokia, Borders, Blockbuster, Kodak. These were giants previously in their respective industry, but no longer in this current digital market, right? So learning to embrace and adjust is imperative and is even more important now, than ever. But how is digitalization and employee healthcare benefits important to my business, right? Well, the indirect impact it has on your organization productivity is definitely an important one. Just to provide you with a quick glimpse of employee healthcare benefit situation within organization in Malaysia for the past 5 years. Malaysian companies have spent more than 4 billion per year in employee healthcare benefit programs, right? And it is also the top 3 rising costs every year for organizations, averagely between 5% and 9%. And on top of that, the productivity loss from unscheduled absence, MCs, because of illnesses and whatsoever, is 6 billion ringgit per year. Now, this is based on employee salary, based on the amount of time that they have taken off, And each organization's cost on absenteeism is averagely about 2.7 million ringgit Malaysia. So HR personnel spend most of their time, up to 70 to 80% of their time in managing employee healthcare benefits in the organization. And most of these are low-value administrative tasks. They have to verify claims, they have to call clinics, and even sometimes recruit clinics for that matter, right? And this is on top of their already extensive list of responsibilities, right? They have to do recruitment, they have to do talent management, and all these kind of other tasks that is already on their plate. So without the relevant digital systems in place, right, businesses will actually continue to deal with these issues year in and year out, right? Now, other than the productivity, of course, is the cost of healthcare across the nation. A connected digital platform will allow for actually deeper analysis of your employee healthcare utilization trends across the nation. Now, healthcare at the workplace is not something you just pay and then you'll go away, right? Your employees will continue to get older, your employees will continue to be sick. So understanding your employees' utilization trends and planning your employee benefits to fit their needs will be more cost effective in the long run, right? Just to share with everyone on some of the common practices when it comes to employee healthcare benefits management. Now, there are self-managed programs where you actually go through a pay and claim basis, right? Or through a recruitment of your own panels. Now, with this method, it's almost impossible to generate employee utilization data in an instant. What more on insight reports such as, occurring illnesses in your organization. Now, employees are also bogged down with limited clinics, right? And they will have to, and sometimes even businesses will have to manually recruit these clinics, and employees have no way to compare pricing across, treatments in other clinics, So all of these are not available to you. Now, if you're using a traditional third-party administrators, some TPAs, they are known as TPAs, do not even have a platform for business to manage their employee benefits. And some even merely just carry out, administrative tasks. So that means they're doing what your HR has been doing previously. That's it, right? You're paying them to do that, but they're not giving you insights into what's happening across your organization, right? And last but not least, of course, the insurance program, which I've mentioned earlier. You don't pay for something and then hope it goes away, right? You pay a premium price for your insurance, and most of your insurance are still manual in process. They actually function through an existing TPA. So now you have to do with 2 different parties when it comes to your employee benefits management, right? And yet still no invaluable insights into your employees' healthcare. So how would businesses then know that their budget allocated or the money spent is sufficient, for your employee benefits package in this day and age, right? And without the right package, Are you even attracting the right talent to your organization? Or with the amount that your organizations are spending on healthcare benefits, are you even getting the necessary treatment at a competitive price for the maximum amount of times? Now, these are very difficult issues to solve for organizations, and they are hard to navigate, unless you have real-time data and a digital system that actually manages this, right? To monitor in real time, it is only possible through digitalization. Now, in HealthMetrics, we believe that what you cannot monitor and manage, you cannot measure. And what you cannot measure, you will not be able to improve, right? So by going digital, you can benefit from the intelligent analytics and reports. And by identifying trends via analytics, you can make improvements measures. And by making these improvements, your company can then further increase productivity and profitability. Okay? So at HealthMetrics, we are currently working with Malaysian corporates and also healthcare providers, to further provide a bespoke service in terms of their employee benefits package further. So we have developed an integrated digital cloud platform that connects businesses to healthcare providers, and at the same time be able to provide all these valuable real-time information that matters to business. So for businesses, you're actually getting a portal that actually links and tabulates all these relevant data, for example, medical expenditure, to MC patterns even, as well as itemized billing and also understanding of your employees' healthcare, right? So we have taken the effort to digitalize the whole employee healthcare benefit process. So even your employees actually do have an employee mobile app, which they can use to keep track of their benefits, right? And also look for healthcare providers across the nation, okay? So by allowing healthcare providers and businesses to also use a shared digital platform, and this includes healthcare providers as well, that means that they are also functioning on the same platform, and they are able to directly input all this data and medical claims into the system. And this connectivity and accessibility eliminates, the need for businesses to manually tabulate and generate all these reports and liaise with healthcare providers in sorting out your medical benefits altogether, right? So healthcare providers from there can also then use the system for billing to companies and providing a whole seamless cashless experience to your employees. So with a digital platform in place, businesses are able to further analyze and basically simplify, standardize, and automate these processes accordingly. Okay? So I guess with that, this is basically, the end of my presentation on digitalization in the employee healthcare benefits management. Now, of course, I still have some time left, so maybe I'd just like to go about a little bit on the product that we have. So with the portal for employees, you actually do get a dashboard, right, where employers can actually keep track of all your employee benefits. We also provide real-time information, on all your employee check-ins and tickets in the system. So you're able to view this immediately whenever you want and need to. And of course, for employers, the real hassle is basically setting up your policies and making sure that this is adhered to by your employees as well as the healthcare providers. So here we actually allow the system to integrate with healthcare providers as well. So all your policies in terms of your employee benefits are all available to healthcare providers, so that they're able to keep track of the limits that you have. Okay. Of course, with HealthMetrics currently, we have over 3,300 healthcare partners, so you're able to enjoy all these benefits across all our network. Okay. And of course, the employer mobile app, again, that I've mentioned earlier, actually does allow employees to be able to keep track of their benefits without bothering HRs and all these low administrative tasks, right? So you can even apply for guarantee letter for outpatient specialist visits all together as well. All right. Of course, I'll just bring up a summary for you to take a look as well. And these are some of the benefits that you are able to enjoy with the HealthMetrics platform. Now, of course, we will be able to sort of give you a personalized sort of consultation when if you're interested to look further into our our system altogether. So with that, basically, this is the end of my presentation, and I would like to thank everyone for tuning in today. I hope that I have inspired some of you to take the efforts to digitalize your processes at the workplace. We're not defined by our difficulties, we're defined by how we respond to them. And we at HealthMetrics will definitely be open to have a discussion with you should you be interested to digitalize your management of employee healthcare benefits. So meanwhile, I understand that there's a Q&A session before I end. So I guess my presentation ends here. Thank you very much, Lori.
All right, thank you. So we don't have any questions for now. So you guys, if you have any questions regarding the presentation, go ahead and leave them in the Q&A box and we'll ask David about them. Someone says thank you, by the way, David. This one's from Terry. She says, thanks, David.
No problem.
But yes, guys, if you have any questions, just leave them in the Q&A box. We have one that just came in. Now, this one, the question is, I am now on an insurance plan. Can HealthMetrics replace my company's group insurance coverage? We are looking to reduce our premiums due to budget cutting.
Yep. So basically, if you're on an insurance plan, yes, you're paying a premium altogether. Now, with HealthMetrics, we're actually taking a different approach to your employee healthcare benefits. We're actually going through a self-funding business model. That means that you're only paying for what you use at that very moment. That means that you don't have to pay upfront, like your insurance premiums, you don't have to pay upfront, a big amount usually, right, to cover your employees. So as and when your employees get to the clinic, you will actually be invoiced that amount at the end of the month. So it's easy, for you to manage your costs and actually increases your cash flow in your business.
All right, cool. Yeah. Right, we still don't have any questions for now. So maybe, David, you could talk about, you mentioned difficulties in the beginning. So what are some of the difficulties you have faced personally throughout this whole MCO period?
Well, definitely as an employee, of course, difficulties that I have faced is definitely approaching healthcare providers, especially with the COVID-19 in light, right? It's actually quite scary to be going to the clinics directly, and then being there with other patients who are there. So, these are some of the problems that I face as an employee, the fear of heading to the clinics, right? And I believe that, in the future, with telemedicine in development as well, I believe that in the future we'll be able to even provide telemedicine to our clients as well. We're actually building on this in HealthMetrics, and you actually get to sit in the comforts at your own home and still be able to receive medical treatments through your phone or through your computer. And from there, at the end of the day, you just need to get to the pharmacy to collect your medication, which is actually a more comfortable process in light of this situation.
Correct, because you won't actually have to sit there and wait for the consultation to happen, and that just kind of increases your exposure if there were any. But I think that's a very smart thing to do. Now we have one more question that just came in. I heard HealthMetrics has a free plan. How do I sign up?
Right. So yes, HealthMetrics does have a freemium model that a lot of organizations can use, especially SMEs. Currently, we do have a free plan that caters to general practitioner benefits, basically your normal clinics, as well as dental and optical benefits. So if you're providing any of these benefits to your employees, we actually do have panels that your employees can utilize if you sign up with us. That means ensuring a cashless process when you go to any of our panels here. This includes dental, optical. So the free plan, of course, if you want to explore this further, definitely do reach out to myself. We will actually leave you a link. In fact, my colleague Siti is actually in is in the chat, so she'll be able to leave you some a link for you to actually go into and explore further. Okay, so we'll definitely leave a link for everyone to go into it and explore further.
All right, please do. Okay, our next question is from Philip. Now, Philip is actually one of our most active attendees here for the past events. I remember you, Philip. Good morning, by the way. So Philip's question is, please do tell us more about the sign-up plan. Also more about the mobile app usage.
Right. Now, with regards to the sign-up plans, of course, we do have different modules catered for different organizations. Now, we do have paid modules, which actually does provide more value add in terms of managing employee benefits. For example, cashless benefit even at outpatient specialist hospitals. Yeah. Now, all of these process, right? It's quite a complicated one where, you know, if you want to visit an outpatient specialist, you actually do have to go into clinics, get a referral letter, you know, and then from the referral letter, you have to bring it to your HR, you know, in order to get approval before you can actually visit a specialist. Now, all of this can be done cashless as well, but that is actually one of our paid module plans. We'd be happy to, you know, actually arrange a meeting, right, with Mr. Philip, if you would like to know more. And further discuss on what are your plans, and we will be able to further suggest what is the relevant module that you'll be required. With regards to the mobile app usage, that is available on the freemium plan as well. So the mobile app is free to use for everyone.
All right. So Philip, we're giving you special treatment. So go ahead and contact David. Okay. Now you mentioned something about you mentioned about being cashless, correct? Now are we going to be facing a little bit of problems in terms of the older generation being able to use this? Because, you know, the trouble with conversion is that older generations, they are very stagnant. They like to stick in their safe zone and you know, be comfortable in what they already know. So how do you get past that hurdle?
Right. So, although I have mentioned that we do have a employee mobile app that employees can use, right, to get into the panels. Now, I understand, some employees across organizations, clients that we've met, they don't even have a smartphone to start with. So how do we go about all these problems all together? We actually have designed this sort of verifications of employees across businesses, right, with just your existing ICs. So you don't have to have a medical card whatsoever. I understand, you know, there's actually one of the Q&As here, one of the attendees actually mentioned, oh, you know, I have to use a medical card to identify myself. If I lose it, I have to wait very long for the medical card to come back. Now, in HealthMetrics, you actually just have to use your ICs. And because we're using an integrated system altogether with healthcare providers and businesses, they just have to type in your IC number and you'll actually be verified through the system. So that's easy because you bring your ICs everywhere anyway.
Correct. And I think it's very super.
Yes.
Okay. Very nice. Our next question is from Jin Kang. Now, Jin Kang would like to know, how do we get this white paper?
Right. So I actually haven't discussed with my colleague on how this goes about, but I think there should be a link on the chat box. I'm not too sure, or she has actually confirmed that there will be a link that will be included in the chat box. So do look out for it. You can get the white paper. It will actually include details on HR digitalization process. Now, this is not just on healthcare. This is across the board. So, you know, definitely something to look at.
All right. Now, our next question is, what reports do you have?
Let me just show you some of the slides. Is my screen still available on the slides right now?
It is. It's still available, but I see,
Good. Right. Maybe I'll just share a little bit on the reports that employees could actually get from the system, right? So, now, if you're viewing on the screen right now, we actually do provide a variety of reports that actually benefits businesses, right? So one of it, I'll go through one by one. So basically, some of it is departments report. Now, you can actually look across all your departments across your organization and understand how much, you know, have they utilized in terms of the benefits that you're currently providing, right? And also the number of MECs that they're actually getting as well. Now, this is the department's report. Now, other than that, of course, there's also employees report. Now, each of employees, right, what are the entitlements given to them? You know, what is the benefit remaining? What is the credit remaining? How many tickets they have utilized? All of this is, you know, available to businesses, and it's even exportable to Excel, so it's easily viewable. Other than that, employees ticket report, we even provide insights into basically your employees' tickets. When they get to the clinic and they get treated, what are they getting treated for? And as employers, right, you actually do have the right to know, right, what you're paying for because you're footing the bill at the end of the day, right? So we actually do itemize all these for businesses so that they are aware of their employees' healthcare and overall, right? And of course, MC Days report, we even tabulate patterns of MCs for businesses to take a look at. So you're able to identify whether some of your employees are actually playing truant, right? Abusing your medical benefits altogether. And of course, treatments report as well. You're even able to look into, specifically, hey, what's happening across your organization? Is there an outbreak of flu? Is there an outbreak of diarrhea cases? It's imperative for you to know because, like you can design interventions to further, alleviate all these problems, right? So these are just some of the sample reports that we currently do provide for businesses out there.
All right. Lovely.
Yep.
Now, our next question. Okay, you guys are not leaving your names in the questions. You guys, you can do that because we're looking for our top fan today. And if everyone's going to leave questions as anonymous, I'm not very sure that we can give out our prize of 100.
Maybe it's a higher chance for me to win then.
I'll have to get back to you on that because I'm not sure if we qualify. But yes, okay, our next question is, now my company is using medical card. It takes a few months to get the card. And when we lose the card, it's another story. Do you also use medical cards? I believe you touched a little bit on this, but feel free to elaborate.
Yes. So yes, with HealthMetrics, we actually do not utilize any medical cards because we believe that is not part of a digitalization process, right? It's still a physical piece of a card that you have to bring along with you, and it actually doesn't store any information right in there. So what's the point of the card? It's actually just to verify, that you're part of the member of, the company and you're actually entitled to employee healthcare benefits. So we have actually designed this so that, everything is stored digitally in the cloud. You just have to go into the clinics with your IC. If you have your employee mobile app with you, that would be great because you can keep track of your benefits. But otherwise, you can use your IC and get into the clinics and still be able to obtain cashless benefit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on, questions are coming in. All right, so our next one is, I am very interested. Do you have any minimum or maximum company size for us to join? We have a total of 3,000 plus employees across multiple subsidiaries. Some big, some small. How do we go about it? Can it be managed under one account?
Interesting question. Yes. In terms of whether we have any minimum or maximum company size to join, no. We even manage companies from as small as 5 packs to as big as even 5,000 packs as well, right? And we don't just manage employees as well, we can even manage your dependents as well. And across multiple subsidiaries, yes, our system is actually capable of handling all the subsidiaries that you currently have within one consolidated account. So you don't have to deal with multiple accounts when it comes to your different subsidiaries altogether, making it easier. Your data is actually consolidated, so you don't have to look in different areas, in order to get analysis of this data.
Okay. Now our next question is from Rick. Now Rick is asking, is there a limit of how much claims that can be made?
Well, that actually comes down to yourself. So HealthMetrics is actually a software as a service platform. So we actually provide a platform for you to self-manage your employee benefits. So you have a max limit that you set for your employees. You can set it through the system, and whenever your employees actually exceeds this medical claim, the healthcare providers will actually know about this. So then they will just have to pay the extra, by cash to the healthcare providers, eliminating all the hassle of, needing to deal with counting of how much is left for your employees and all together. So whatever is the cutoff point, that is it. Your employees will just have to pay the remaining at the healthcare providers.
Okay, our next question just came in, and this one is, can I get an online demo or live walkthrough for the platform, and can I get the sign-up link as well?
Yep, sure. In fact, I'll get my colleague CT to actually drop that into the chat box. So if you come and approach us, through our links, we'd be happy to arrange for an online demo. Especially during this RMCO situation. In fact, if you're insisting on a face-to-face, that will be all right as well. Yeah.
Okay. I also realized that I didn't ask you to leave your contact details on screen. How do we get in touch with you?
Right. How would I go about that? Is there a way I could do that?
Are you on LinkedIn or do you have a slide
Yes,
with
I
your
do
contact
have
details?
LinkedIn. Maybe I'll just drop my LinkedIn link onto the chat, and then
Please
you guys can
do.
get in touch and let me know if you have any questions. Yes,
Okay.
again, we'd be happy to discuss about managing your employee benefits management digitally.
So we have another question that just came in. Now this one is from Zuntam. Now
Yep.
Zuntam would like to know any trial versions before we actually proceed for sign up.
Well, technically, we do offer a freemium model, so that would actually be your trial version already. Yeah, that would be the point to start, I guess. It's definitely a affordable, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
it's a freemium model, and you're definitely able to use the platform. And we do have an offer contract basis on a freemium model, so that means that you can terminate if you feel that our services is not up to the standard that you expect.
Okay. Now I have a question as well while we're waiting for more questions to come in. I'm not sure if this is going to sound slightly difficult to answer, but you mentioned that we can actually track and see who is playing truant and who is abusing their
Right.
benefits and all that, correct? So
Yeah.
how do you think that's going to affect employee, job performance? Because once in a while, I know, we all want to take a little break here and there. So how do you think it's going to affect it on a whole?
I guess with that, definitely, people who have been taking MCs just to get a holiday, that will definitely be a blunder. With HealthMetrics, employees will have to think twice about this. But I guess at the end of the day, when it comes to employee healthcare benefits and an investment by the company, so I guess it has to bring value to the company, right? But at the same time, of course, this allows businesses to actually be able to analyze further on what employee benefits actually fits your organization. For example, if you're providing GP dental optical benefits just because some other company has done so, is that right for your company? If your company is of a younger sort of age range and whatsoever, maybe the benefits that they desire are actually something different, right? Maybe vacations, maybe movie tickets. That will actually be able to guide organizations towards making these better decisions now when it comes to employing medical benefits or employee benefits per se. So instead of offering more dental optical benefits, why don't we just offer benefits that are movie tickets or whatsoever? Maybe employees will appreciate it more and take less fake MCs in time to come.
Correct. And I think also in a way, this also allows the organization or the company to get to know their employees a little bit better. And I think that just bridges everything so much better in terms of productivity and everything in between. Now, in correlation to that, Philip actually asked us another question. I suppose the fake MC report will be one of the most popular reports then?
I guess, yes. Sharing with the clients that I have met, definitely this is one of the most popular reports. But it's also an interesting one. There are also other interesting reports out there. And of course, one that actually contributes to your bottom line, of course, is the other reports, because you're able to actually look at your costs in real time right now, right? And you're able to make changes accordingly as and when you would like. So yes, the answer is.
Okay, so our next question is from Zuntam as well. Now, Zuntam would like to know, where are all the details going to be stored? Is it in your portal cloud?
Yes, we actually do. We're actually using our services under the Microsoft Azure server, right? So it's actually a server that's used by Fortune 500 companies. And we have also gone through penetration testing and also going through ISO certification on our servers. So that means that we're taking your employee data, very importantly, we're making sure that all these data are stored safely in our servers, right? Because when it comes to digitalization, the caveats of digitalization is the worry of data being distributed illegally or without any care. So we have definitely taken the measures to make sure that all of your employee data are stored securely.
Oh, good to know. Okay, so our next question is, does your platform have ways for us to detect clinics that are overcharging or are more expensive than usual? It's a very good question. Thank you.
Yes. Does your platform have ways for us to detect clinics that are overcharging or more expensive than usual? Now, we have actually recently launched a bell curve pricing model across all our healthcare providers, healthcare partner providers. So that means that we actually do analyze the pricing across all our clinics here. And we also categorize them accordingly into a particular category. So you're able to even decide as well that if you want to actually restrict your employee benefits, in terms of the costing wise to a certain cost, we're able to identify all those clinics, and this is a dynamic pricing. And that means that we're constantly checking on all our clinics and making sure that they are, analyzing their tickets accordingly, so that if they do offer, a ticket that is expensive for the next 10 to 100 tickets, then they'll fall into a different category. So you will, if you do decide to restrict your claims to 70 ringgit, then if they do constantly offer tickets at 80, then they'll fall into a category that you do not cover anymore. So that means that panel clinics of that price will no longer be your panels. So we actually do allow, businesses to pick and choose your panels as well.
I think that's very important. And it's very nice that you provide that option as well. Now, Philip has another question. Philip is on a roll here. Keep it going, Philip. He's really going for it. Okay, so Philip's question is there a rating system for the providers?
We currently do not do any particular rating system for the providers, but we do allow the mechanism for employees to basically pick and choose the panels accordingly, like I've mentioned earlier. So, different employees, right, across different businesses may experience different treatments at the clinic, right? So some companies may feel that, oh, this particular panel is actually, issuing too many MCs or very expensive. But there are some businesses that feel that, oh, yeah, this is okay for them. So we do allow employees to actually have the flexibility to pick and choose. And with the reports that we're providing you, you can even look across all the panels that your employees are currently visiting. If you feel that any of these panels are actually too lenient in their process, charging too much, you are free to remove that clinic as a panel from your organization. Yeah.
Right, fantastic. Now this next one is from Kafis Zainal. Now Kafis is wondering, hi, does this app have constant update? Plus, is this app safe for data, the employees' data? I think you touched a little bit on that as well. So.
Yep. Yes, the app actually goes through constant updates. We are definitely looking to improve all aspects of healthcare, right? Not just your GP, dental, optical benefits per se. In the future, we might even look into other forms of healthcare providers, right? Which, it could include physiotherapists and whatsoever. So we're looking to engage all these providers as well in the future. So we're definitely doing constant updates, not just on our app, but also on our system as well. In terms of data privacy and security, yes, we are doing all the necessary measures to ensure that your data is stored securely and that the information provided there is safe to you only.
Now, David, you also talked about providing different types of healthcare just now, like you mentioned. Now, what about mental health? Because that's something that's sort of taboo in Malaysian society.
Correct.
And so are you going to implement that as well by any chance? Because I think a lot of us need it. It's just that it's not talked about often, and a lot of companies will adopt that approach.
Correct.
So what do you think?
Correct. As a graduate psychologist as well, I truly understand where you're coming from. I believe mental health care is something that is still, at its infancy in Malaysia. Definitely, we are looking to sort of basically providing mental health care benefits to employees as well. But I guess we're still trying to look into the intricacies of how to implement this for employers, because it can be quite difficult to sort of manage the utilization of mental health care benefits and how this goes about. We do have wellness programs that can cater to this, and this will actually sit in one of our wellness areas. So we're definitely looking into this as well.
All right, cool.
Just don't have a specific structured agenda on how to go about this yet.
Correct, because it's very subjective, you know,
Correct.
and in terms of therapy or talking to somebody, you know, progress is always linear. So,
Correct.
you know, the fear is that some people might actually abuse that or take advantage of that, you know. But I understand the complications of it. But hopefully we'll see something like that in the future. Now, somebody just sent in a question about wellness programs. So the question is, do you offer wellness programs? I suppose with the reports, we can be more precise on what types of wellness programs to offer our employees. Currently, the programs out there are very spray and pray, especially the step counting challenges, may not be relevant for a lot of us.
Correct. So yes, definitely. I mean, the programs that are very spray and pray out there, of course, is because of the current traditional mechanisms that we have in place. How do we go about our wellness programs? Is it because, every other organization is doing this, or is this a general issue that the world is facing, and now we have to employ this altogether? It's because of the lack of data that we have, right? So now with the data on basically your treatments and whatsoever with HealthMetrics, you'll actually be able to, you know, dive deep down into, hey, what is it specifically the employees are dealing with? You know, if it's a lot of, if it's obesity problems, right, it will usually come into basically also medications that go for this, right? So then we are able to actually look into your, by using HealthMetrics, we'll actually be able to look into your organization specificity. Then from there, we'll actually be able to design programs that match your organization's needs. Yeah, we do have wellness programs, and we do have a wellness manager that is in charge of this. So definitely do get in touch with us.
Okay, very nice. Now, Zenham has another question. I think we have time for this. Yes, we do. We're just going to squeeze in this last one here. Can the company request to store the details in their own server or cloud? Because there are some companies which are sensitive in private details and data in terms of PDPA.
At this very moment, we do not have that particular capability. Perhaps we can further discuss, sit down and have a discussion on this. I'm pretty sure my management will be happy to explore this option as well, because we do understand, you know, sometimes, you know, all these PDPA options, different organizations have different requirements for it. So yeah, I'd be happy to set up a discussion with Mr. Tam. Okay.
I think we have like a couple of minutes left. Let's just do two more questions. We just came in. I feel bad for not answering this. So let's do this. Okay, this one's from Lim YE. I hope I pronounced that right. Do you collaborate with other partners or applications to onboard HealthMetrics?
Currently, when it comes to collaboration with other partners or applications to onboard HealthMetrics, I perhaps would need some clarification on this question accordingly. If you're talking about integration with your existing applications, I mean, we do have our internal IT team who is more than happy to have a discussion with you know, Lim YE to sort of further find out what is the collaboration that you need in terms of you know, linking both HealthMetrics and the existing systems all together. Yeah. I'm not an IT expert, so I can't really comment much on that. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to do one more question. I'm sorry, more questions are coming in, but we're going to do one more. I promise you, just one more. All right, so this one is from Michael Yap. So, will there be a health or lifestyle tracking feature in your app for employees?
At this very moment, we're still concentrating on traditional healthcare benefits per se offered by organizations. So, of course, within the app, you'll currently be able to track all your limits and whatsoever. But yes, there is definitely room for us to implement possibly a lifestyle tracking feature. At this very moment, this is still something that we're not looking into yet, not a priority for us.
Okay, so David, that's all the time we have for today. We still have one more question which we didn't answer, so if you could answer that offline after your session, that would be great. But to everyone else who's watching, let's give him a virtual round of applause. I thought it was a wonderful presentation, and thank you for answering so many questions. We answered 20 in total for your session. That's pretty amazing.
Right. Thank you very much for all the questions accordingly.
But yes, David, thank you so much for being a part of the SME Digital Fest 3.0.
Okay.
Feel free to stay on for the rest of the day. We've got a whole long day here of panelists and panel discussions. So feel free to stay on. And thank you so much for joining us once again. You have a nice day now.
You too. Take care. And very good day to everyone.
Lovely.
Bye.
Thanks, David. Bye.
Exabytes. Grow your business online.